And that is incomplete here.
No receivers open downfield, so instead of forcing the ball to the sideline, he's going to throw this one down to Fort Worth. He'd rather have the incompletion than the turnover.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Goff. Reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott getting ready to go once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities. And this is a good one right in front of them.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They go to Elliott again. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Well, another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Zeke going to get it on the option. And he'll get this down to the 48-yard line. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Prescott to throw it. And that's complete to Cooks. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 28. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. Throwing, Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Prescott. And incomplete on the deep ball. Detroit was up for the challenge through the air. They force a fourth down.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary, partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the fourth down.
Deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Time for another look at this Lions offense. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Second down and 4. Goff now looks to throw. He's got right on the short throw. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll send the tight end in motion. Out of the gun, Goff. That is caught by Laporta. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Throwing again is Goff. That's to the tight end, Laporta. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. And that's going to do it. With that last throw, he surpasses Norm Van Brocklin's mark of 554 passing yards in one game, set more than 70 years ago, way back in 1951. Well, he's had help from his offensive line and his receivers, but this has been an incredible individual performance. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
In motion goes Patrick. A quick throw there is incomplete.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now it's gone. Got his man. It's Williams. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
This one away. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Play action now. Prescott. Open man downfield is Lamb. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards that time.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose. And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a 1st down.
A handoff left to Elliott. And some strong running. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Prescott. He gets it to Cook.
Nicely. They pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. He's airing it out for Williams. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Dallas, Texas is the spot, 3rd quarter inside AT&T Stadium. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10. Here's Goff. This to Laporta, right side. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. In motion goes the tight end. Goff. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 36 yards on the play.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
And he will maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And that's also all for this 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Once more Montgomery, and they'll run again. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. David Montgomery, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got it complete to Tolbert. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short, because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the first down.
To throw is Prescott. Right back to his running back, Ezekiel Elliott. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
From the 21, here's a 2nd and 5. Now Prescott. Short pass taken in by Schoonmaker. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here's Prescott. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Cowboys are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. Prescott now. And it'll be intercepted. It's Brian Branch with it. And the Lions are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, the field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Jamison Williams and the Lions get set for this next possession. They have to like what they've gotten from him in this game.
Think about the accumulation of catches.
8.
The yards per catch now, because you're getting more than a 1st down every time he's touching the ball. This is the kind of game you want when you're able to throw it out wide.
Absolutely. Over 100 yards, has the 8 catches. To Montgomery to begin the drive. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Second and 9 now from the 21. Williams being motion left. Off play action. Here's Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. It'll be a gain of 5. And now it's 3rd and 4.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been tough to stop. 8 for 10 so far. This is 3rd and 4. The tight end in motion right. Here's Goff. This one swung out to Montgomery. No gain on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Prescott to throw it. Over the middle, complete. That's Ferguson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll throw again. Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 29-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Again, it's Elliott. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Throwing. Prescott. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Carlton Davis picks it. And the Lions are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big. They just sent their receivers out, let it fly. But the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else and makes a dramatic play.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. He'll begin by dropping it off to Montgomery. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Goff. Got St. Brown running the quick slant here. And St. Brown going to have the Lions 1st down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line. That one goes for 8 yards.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
In motion, the tight end. They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Down the left sideline. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Sam Laporta, 61 yards. And the Lions up the lead to 4 scores now here in this fourth quarter. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. It's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be second in a couple.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Now Prescott. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete. But we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy first.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Prescott yet again. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another incomplete pass there. We've seen a bevy of those. This secondary, they've been pretty good, haven't they?
They certainly have. They've allowed the one touchdown through the air, and they're going to be upset about that later when they watch the game tape. But other than that, they've been absolutely rock solid.
Here's Prescott. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And the Lions will take over here just shy of the 30. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal
shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from AT&T Stadium.